Thumbs up. Okay, let's think about this for a second. What are the mistakes? What are our limitations as interviewers? What do we look at in candidates? What's outside? Right? Skills. We won't get into the biases. How do we get to uncover what's inside? Do we really look at the whole human being, or do we look at only part of the human being when we're interviewing and we're hiring? Do we actually understand a candidate's DNA when we're interviewing? What do you think? I think there's degrees of that, right? I'm not saying that we don't. I'm just saying that there's degrees of that. And too often, we focus on 1/3 of that particular human being. So this is what we generally base our hiring off of, right? Let's think about this for a second. Human beings are made up of more than just skills. Your ability to do something is great. But what if you don't want to do it? What if your resume is perfect, but you have no interest in doing it? Think about that for a second. How many of us have made a decision based off of skills at some point in your career? How many of your hiring managers make a decision based off of skills? Now, yes, I know they interview. I know they try to get along. I get that. But most of the decision is being made on one piece. What really makes up a human being beyond skills? Because skills are important. You've got to know how to do a job, right? You've got to have the ability to do the job. But what else makes up an entire human being? Attitude. What else? Personality. What else? Values. Motivation. Grit. All of that. So think about it. All the things that you just described are true. So what are we missing when we're only looking at skill? What's this? What's in their head? What's this? What's in their heart? Right? So we've got to understand the entire human being. In order to do that, we've got to look at head, heart, and the skills piece. Why is this so important? I just gave you the answer a minute ago. I could have all the skills in the world. If I don't want to do the work, am I going to do the work? If I don't want to do the work in your organization, am I going to do the work? If I'm not passionate, if the values of your company or your manager or you don't match my values, am I going to be successful at your place? Not really. Flip side of that. If I don't know what your values are, I'm in your way. If I don't know what your values are, if I don't know what's in your head, how can I position the opportunity the right way? What do I end up selling you on? A job, a J-O-B. Who gets excited about a job? Is it a job or is it a craft? That was kind of like perfect. I didn't plan that, just so you know, right? But we have to understand that we have to focus on the whole human being. Here's the problem. Here's what the statistics show. There was a book written called Hiring for Attitude. Have you guys, anybody read that? It's an older book. But a lot of it was true. I don't agree with the final premise of only hire for attitude. We don't need to worry about skills. I don't agree with that premise, right? Because there's certain jobs you just can't do that for, no matter know-how. However, there was some interesting stats that still hold true today. The research Mark Murphy did is pretty groundbreaking. And we did a study about this last year to make sure that it still held true, and it did. 11% of the time, we fire for skill. Now, what does that mean? 11% of the time, we fire for skill. What are we firing for the other 89, 90%? What's that? Everything else. All of those soft skills, motivation, inspiration, ability to learn, whatever you want to call it. Why are we only firing 11% for skill? What's that? You can train skill, but we do a really good job. Our processes in general, we do a really good job of ferreting out skill. Do you have it or do you not? This is a complement to the recruiting process, to the screening process, the interviewing process. We do a damn good job because it's the easiest piece to do. You can see it. You can test it on the outside. Can you do X or can you not do X? Can you recruit or can you not recruit? Can you sell or can you not sell, right? It's really easy to do. But the stuff that's a little bit harder, that's who we're firing for because our processes are not set up to really uncover the DNA of the candidate. Does that make sense? So the question becomes, how do we actually do this?